To Syria now, where Turkey has built up its military presence along the border, leading to fears that it may attack Kurdish forces in Syria. Let's take a look at Turkey's aims and what the Kurds stand to lose.
Turkey's flag goes up at its embassy in Syria's capital, Damascus, for the first time in years. That flag has also been carried by HTS, the rebel group that took over Syria earlier this month. Turkey's now looking to turn its years of support for HTS into leverage against a Kurdish militia that has long been number one on Turkey's enemies list, the Syrian Democratic Forces, or SDF. Turkey wants to expand a so-called safe zone 30 kilometers wide on the Syrian side of the border. It says it needs to keep the SDF as far away as possible. The SDF is an outgrowth of the Turkey-based Kurdish Workers' Party, which Turkey, as well as many other countries, considers a terrorist group. Over decades, tens of thousands of people have been killed in its fight for Kurdish independence. The SDF controls most of northeastern Syria. It's backed by 900 U.S. troops meant to help contain the so-called Islamic State. But pockets are also controlled by another militia, the Turkish-backed Syrian National Army. It has clashed in recent days with the Kurds and forced them out of key towns. That all makes for an explosive mix, made even more volatile by the recent U.S. election. President-elect Donald Trump already tried to pull U.S. troops from northern Syria and is expected to do so after taking office in January. That would leave the Kurds at the mercy of Turkish forces, and that could easily mean the end of Kurdish autonomy in Syria, in a game where Turkey now seems to hold all the cards.
Let's get more on this now from our correspondent Dorian Jones in Istanbul. Dorian, what is Turkey's role in Syria right now?
Well, Turkey believes it can play a very important role in Syria, and that's because it has developed very close links with Tahrir Hayat al-Sham. It believes it's developed those close relationships over many years because the HTS was primarily based on Turkey's border in the Idlib province and largely depended on Turkey's cooperation to deliver food and aid, as well as Turkish forces in Idlib that were in many ways protecting the group from being overrun by Assad forces. And the Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan, who was then the head of Turkey's intelligence, confirmed that they had developed very close ties with this group, even though they were designated as a terrorist organization internationally. And to underline those close links, within days of the Assad regime being ousted, you saw the present intelligence chief in Turkey, Ibrahim Kalın, visiting the leadership in Damascus. And then we saw the very high-profile visit of Hakan Fidan, Turkey's foreign minister, meeting with the leaders only a week or so ago. And this underlines what Turkey believes is its very important role it can help in helping to transform and make the transition from the Assad regime into a new Syria. And underlining that importance, you're seeing that many of Turkey's Western allies' foreign ministers have been visiting Turkey to talk about Syria. You had the US Secretary of State here, the German foreign minister, the head of the EU, Ursula von der Leyen, all have been coming here. And that underlines what they see as Turkey's potential role as being crucial in this transition in Syria.
Now, there's a large Kurdish minority in Syria. Turkey is quite hostile to the idea of Kurdish self-determination in northern Syria. Why is that, Dorian?
Well, Turkey says that one of their biggest concerns is that Syria has to remain as one country. And there is a concern because of the various ethnic and religious diversity of the country. It could ultimately break up and could lead to chaos on Turkey's border. So they say that all the country should remain united. But what's particularly concerning for Turkey is the Kurdish autonomy that exists on its border, because Turkey has a very large Kurdish population itself. And the fear is that if they have this autonomy going forward, this could lead to similar demands within its own country. And the country is currently waging a war against the PKK in Turkey for many decades. And the PKK, Turkey claims, is closely linked to the Kurdish group that runs Syria just across its border.
Dorian, thank you very much. That was our correspondent Dorian Jones there in Istanbul.